Hello, dear friends. It's Carly Wharton. Welcome back to my porch and my channel. So glad you're here. In this video, I am talking about creating just for the sake of creating, and how delicious and how right and how restorative and medicinal and all kinds of things. How good it is to practice creating just for the sake of creating as a means to feel good in our experience. Every bit of what I talk about is pulled from my own experience and the limited study that I've performed in my short time on this earth in this physical life. So please take it all with a grain of salt, base it and compare it to your experience, and pull from it anything that works for you. And feel free to leave anything else here on the table. Um, what I want to put on the table today, though, is creating for the sake of creating. And this is an idea that I haven't always used these words for, but I've been working at this for years, where I am an entrepreneur. I have a couple businesses under my belt, and there is a very real awareness that I'm not just building a business, I'm building an empire. I'm building multiple things, not just any one thing. There's all kinds of facets to my world, and my world is this empire. Um, that I'm building that, and that long term, there are lots of different pieces that will factor into that. And to let myself move between those creations, however my inspiration will guide me. So, what that looks like for me is having a lot of things on the go at one time, and like having dabbles in lots of different places. And as I have all of these different options of things to be creative with, I'll pop in here and create for a little while, and then I'll pop over here and create for a little while. And I accomplish less with this method, I gotta think, than somebody who is like deliberately focused into one thing all the time. But for me, that doesn't work. It just doesn't work. In order to like be creative and have fun with it, I need a lot of variety and diversity in what I'm doing. Um, I kind of go wherever the wind blows me. That's what works for me. And that's where, I've gotten the advice before. I've tried it on like a pair of jeans, and it just doesn't fit. When people tell me like, "Oh, you need to like narrow it down. You need to just like pick one thing and like get good at that, and then, like you'll be good at that. And then if you want to do other things, you can." And I just can't. I can't weave it together like that. I can't just do one thing at a time. The the fact that I have all of these different options to bebop between and be creative with is like lifeblood. It's like a fuel that gives me a sense of being alive and doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like I'm supposed to have 8 balls in the air that I'm juggling because I love juggling. That's the only reason that I have these balls in the air. And it's not just any old ball. It's not. It's things that I deliberately choose to, I like this. I like to be creative with this. Whether that's, studying human design, or that's doing readings for other people, or making videos, or making podcast episodes, or going for walks with my dog, or doing yoga. Like each of those moments has its own amount of enjoyment that is just for me, creating just for the sake of, not for having this video posted where you're watching it right now. It's for the pleasure of sitting in this moment, looking out at this view and having this cup of coffee and being in this moment of fun and ease and connection with nature and just overall good feeling energy. Getting to stay in a place where anybody has good feeling energy. Like to me, that's creation. Doing that on purpose, that's creativity. We're all creative, like so easy to say like, oh, I'm not artistic, or I'm not creative. That's other people. Like I'm very logical. Like, okay, we're still all creative because we get to choose how to how to be such that we feel good. That's a creation, right? Like that's a recipe that we all have to hone for ourselves, is what helps me to feel centered and calm and enjoying my life might look completely different for you. Like perfect example, I'm a quiet stillness kind of person to find my center. Some people are like race car drivers to find their center, and I totally subscribe to the belief that both are true and both are right. So whatever your centering process looks like for you is the recipe that each of us gets to uncover as we go about this beautiful experiment called our life. And on this channel, I love having this outlet to get to talk about all of these little mini experiments that I'm doing with happiness, with my own behavior. I'm sculpting my habits and my choices, and I'm trying on different habits and choices and seeing what works for me and adopting the best of all of it and doing this continuously. And life just seems to get better and better and better and better. And I create enough, like there's enough videos, there's enough episodes, there's enough of all of that. There's enough things on the trail behind me. And sometimes I get overly attached to the things on the trail behind me and how much I'm creating and how much I'm putting out into the world and the exact amount of value that I'm creating in the world. What's my impact? Like I just get all twirled up in all of that. And it's in a moment like this one, like literally this moment, like right now, sitting out here in the open air, listening to the sounds of nature, beautiful Saturday morning. Nowhere in the world I would rather be. Wind rustling the leaves. It's mm, it's delicious. It's a delicious moment to get to be in. Does it have quantifiable value? No, it doesn't. And that has really rocked my boat a lot over the course of my lifetime. And one of the best things I've ever done is adopting this perspective of I'm creating just to create. I'm not doing it for the trail of things that I leave behind me. I'm doing it for the beauty and the just connection and utter alignment that exists inside this moment right now.